everybody, welcome in. This is Julie Max in the main stamper. It has been a harrowing couple of hours here. It is 8:15, it's just after 8:15 here in Maine on the East Coast. We just had a power outage for the last couple of hours. Normally I go live at 7 p.m. and I bumped it. I was hoping to get live by 8 because our power was supposed to be restored at 1:45, and then they updated the information and said 8:15, and I thought, wow, I could probably squeak this class in. This is an amazing class. It is my Easter Spring Fling class. It's going to be a lot of fun. I actually have 4 cards to share with you tonight, but they're pretty simple cards, and the best part is, although I'm using 4 different bundles, they can all be mixed. So it's kind of like my mixer class. And it's a really exciting class with 4 different bundles, because then you can see 4 different ways you can use bundles. Also, again, mixing and matching is my favorite part of this Easter class. So here I am. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock. Hi, Kathy. Glad you can see and hear me. We're going to get right over to my workspace because, again, I'm running a little bit late. Now, if you're watching on replay, it's anytime, right? And that's the best. I have a lot of replay watchers, so I figured if I went late tonight, it's okay. Replay is going to be out there. And hi everybody on YouTube. I know I have some friends over there that watch me as well. So let's get over to my workspace. We're going to talk about this Easter Spring Filling class. I did have a poll up. I showed all 4 of the bundles that I'm going to be using. I had a poll on my Facebook page asking you which of the 4 bundles you were most excited about. A lot of you said the Excellent Eggs bundle, which I have to say was really eye-opening when I actually first started to use it. There's something in there that I did not expect, so I can't wait to share that with you. And I also want to know if you had a favorite previously, if the card that I made is still your favorite card, because you just never know, right? I mean, there's so much fun stuff to go on. All right, so let's get over to my workspace so that we can check it all out. Oh my gosh, I see you guys all pouring in. Hi, Lois, Michelle, Lexi, Flo, Jody. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me on this oddball evening, right? I mean, power was out for 2 hours. I was running around lighting candles. I was doing all of the things. And they're all still going. It's a nice candlelit evening here. I'll catch all those later. This is my Easter Spring Fling card class. So your $40 order is going to get you, this is different. This is totally different this week. $40 order normally gets you 2 each of 3 card kits, and I use 1 bundle. Today I'm using 4 different bundles. These are the bundles that I'm using. Excellent Eggs, which can be found in the mini catalog on page 43. No, make that page 27. It is $43. The Easter Bunny stamp set and the punch are 2 individual items. They're not bundled anymore. They've been around. So some of you may have the Easter Bunny stamp set and punch. So you would be able to take this class and just use the Easter Bunny. You don't even have to buy another bundle if you don't want to. So those are the annual catalog. The Easter Lily bundle is also in the mini catalog. It's right next to Excellent Eggs. It is a $52 bundle because there's a lot to it. It's a very fancy bundle. I think the Excellent Eggs at $43 is an excellent value. That's my thoughts. And then the Filled with Fun bundle that I'm going to use is an online exclusive. The order number is 163561 because it's not in a catalog. This bundle is $50.25. Now, keep in mind, all of these items will be mixed and matched today. We can mix and match them. These are your card kits. So you can kind of see here the fun spring colors that we have going on. We've got some really awesome, beautiful colors. Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Fuchsia, Balmy Blue, and Bubble Bath. If you place a $50 order with me this week, you're going to get an Easter basket surprise. And I'm calling it an Easter basket surprise because I'm going to give you 1 of 2 embellishments. So you're either going to get the cute little rainbow dots or you're going to get the twine. Now, I have used both of these embellishments on all 4 cards. So with your $50 order, you're getting an Easter basket surprise. It's like when you were a kid and you got your Easter basket, there were surprises in it. Your embellishment is going to be one or the other with a $50 order. If you bump up to $100 this week, you're going to get double the card kits. So 2 each of 4, so 8 card kits, and then you're going to get both embellishments. You're going to get the dots and the twine. So if you are having any questions on that, you can ask me that for sure. The host code is Z4X6DJMG, and this is going to be good through the end of day Saturday, March 16th. I am going to Houston for a Stampin' Up! Convention this week, so I'm shaking it up a little bit. It's going to be awesome. All right, so let's start with our first card kit. This one is up first. This is going to be Flirty Flamingo and a Lemon Lolly. So these are all the things that you're getting in your kit. And for our very first one, we are busting out I'm so excited about this. We're busting out the excellent eggs first. So you can see here my finished card. This is all of the kit pieces right here. So we are using this really cute spots and dots. And it's a die cut. And I don't know if you were aware that it's a die cut, but it's a single die and it's in the annual catalog. So they kind of snuck it in there. It doesn't go with the bundle. It's called Dots and Spots Die 159164. It's a big metal die with polka dots in it, right? Little holes in it. I've got it on a magnet sheet, so it doesn't quite want to come out. So you can see here what it looks like. And you can see here what it does to your paper. Like, can anyone say Swiss cheese, right? So the tricky part here, of course, is getting it to line up properly with the size of your paper without having these little not perfect dots on the end. So I have been playing and practicing a little bit and trying to figure out the best way to get you the most beautiful embossed, I shouldn't say embossed, die cut piece of paper that you can see all of the little polka dots on it. But how cute is this? I thought this embossing folder went really, really well with our little egg theme today. So we're going to be using, I'm going to grab everything out. So because I'm using 4 different bundles, this is a little bit, there's a little bit more involved here on my end. I've got to grab out all these different things. Excellent eggs bundles, super cute. There are 2 big eggs, an adorable bunny that's begging to be colored chocolate because chocolate bunny is the best. For the sentiments, we have Happy Easter, thinking of you, hello spring, and there's no bunny like you. Super cute sentiments. This egg has, of course, the little bunnies in it, so it's really sweet. This one has your traditional, this one would be a lot of fun to color. Now I kept it really simple for this card, but at home, if you have this and get this, you can definitely change it all up. Now the dies are going to look like this, and we may be using the some of the Easter egg dies today. So you've got some zigzags here, some little curved pieces. This is for your bunny, and then you've got different nesting egg die sizes. So 2 of these are going to coordinate with I didn't put these on magnet sheets, so they're on that really sticky paper, right? So 2 of these are going to coordinate with your stamps, not that one apparently. This is the big one. That's very big. That's way bigger than the one that I have on my card. So you can kind of see here for sizing how much bigger that actually is. So this is going to die cut this egg. The next one down is going to die cut the yellow, or well, on my card it's yellow. This one right here will give you a more detailed die, and actually maybe let's play with that tonight because this is, again, we're spring flinging, we're mixing it up here a little bit. Now this is the only cling stamp that I have tonight. The other are going to be photopolymer. That's so you can get so many different images here, details, lots of details in the red rubber. So here's your card kit, and we're going to put this one together, and we are going to also talk about how we may mix and match. Now I may not show you all the mix and match right away because I want you to see, I want to wait and show you all the cards as I do them. So I will show you mix and match at the end because I think it's really awesome that these are going to be mix and match kits. Now, so the first things you're going to do, really basic bones here to your card kit, is your glue is going to come on the back side. There is a front and a back. One side looks a little bit rougher. Let me see if my glue will cooperate today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here on the outside edges where there is cardstock. So I'm just kind of coming around a little bit lightly. Actually, my glue's not coming out. Now it's going to come out. There we go. So now we're going to have glue. It will be glued. I'm gluing in this. And then randomly, I'm just going to pick a few spots here in the middle and just kind of dot the glue in, right? So all these pokey dots are going to get dotted with glue. Now this is going to go onto your lemon lolly background piece, your matte piece. And because I had to trim it a little bit differently to make sure I had a really nice fit with the little dots, it's not going to be the perfect matte all the way around. So the top and the bottom may be a little bit wider than the edges. Now on this one, I made it work, but I started cutting crookedly here. There's like a couple little notches on the bottom that I wasn't really happy with. So, you know, that's just kind of how that goes. So we're actually going to put this on with dimensionals. I'm trying to look at my card to see what I did here. And it looks like I have some dimensionals edges, unless I have more. I do have more. Let's do more today. It's already been a really hard day. That power outage that I had, it just threw me for a little bit of a loop. I'm totally like, right, I chug along here on a Monday going, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm on a schedule, right? I have these things to do, and expectations are, of course, that you're going to have electricity to be able to see all the things, be on the internet, all the things, right? And when the power went out at 6 o'clock, actually it was probably like 20 to 6, I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good, not going to be good. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to fix my day, right? So make the rest of my day work. And I did. It's okay. So you're going to see that this is a landscape card. So this one is going to go this way. So there is step one. Now you have a really cute little combo of colors here. I think these are super sweet. Hi Amy, hi Janice, hi Lori, Melissa. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about my trip coming up. I cannot even. Okay, so I'm going to just move down a little bit now that I'm looking a little bit at the camera to see what you're seeing. Sometimes I don't pay attention to all that. Now you're going to have some great little matted layers here. Flirty Flamingo again, Lemon Lolly. We're going to just put this white right on top of this Flirty Flamingo. And this just gives us a background or a backdrop for our eggs to sit on, right? So it's not a basket, but it gives us a landing spot for these so that they don't just blend in. And we're going to put this on here at a little bit of an angle. Now, if you don't like angles, you can do straight, of course. You could put it down in one corner, off to one side. There's lots of different ways you can get creative with this, of course. I know you love all that. So, but I'm going to keep it a little bit whimsical. The dots kind of provide that whimsy as well. So we're going to go this way with it. Now we're going to do our sentiment on the white cardstock right here. You've got a little backer piece that you can see here for your Happy Easter. And these are for your eggs. So this is the fun part. And I need to find my ink. I set my things aside here. So we're going to keep this kind of tone on tone. We've got Flirty Flamingo, Lemon Lolly, and we're going to do these little eggs just so. So we're going to stamp up here. I think my camera might be a little bit closer to my work surface today. So I feel like I'm trying to keep more things like in focus here so you can see what I'm doing. I try to not be off screen. So you can see these really cute little bunnies on here. Hopefully you can see those cute little bunnies on there. I adore them, of course. Now if you put them on a piece of white cardstock, you would be able to color them in too. You could color that whole background, right? Your bunnies could be a color. There's grass in there, there's flowers in there. There is coloring opportunity for all you color nuts out there, right? All of you that love coloring so much. Here's our little Happy Easter sentiment. And now we're going to do Lemon Lolly. So we're going to do the Lemon Lolly. So I'm doing tone on tone. Of course, you could change it up if you have different cardstock at home and you wanted to do this with different colors, right? Easter eggs can be lots of different colors. That is the fun of the Easter eggs. Now this is really, really light, so it's hard to see this. I probably need to re-ink my Lemon Lolly pad, to be honest. But this is not where the magic lies. The magic actually lies in the die cuts. So let's do a little bit of die cutting. We're going to grab these two. I don't know why I have the big guy out here. And we're going to do a quick bit of die cutting, and then we're going to finish this card very, very simply. So these are kind of more simple cards, and there are 4 of them with pieces that you can mix and match from one bundle to the next. Now this, when I die cut these, I was just like, oh my gosh, that is the sweetest thing in the world. So I'm going to put the outlines on here. Now from here, they look like just your basic oval shapes, right? We're going to actually do this one. I mentioned that we're going to play with this one real quick. So I'm going to just chop up some paper here because I haven't done this yet. I haven't made my background papers where I take my dies, put them on paper so I can see what they all look like. I have not had time. I've just been a little bit busy. So we're going to just pop these through here and see what comes out the other side. This is the exciting part right here. Now, again, if you don't have the eggs and you don't want the eggs, you can mix in other Easter items. But I want to show you, and I don't know if you can see this or not. I was so shocked when these came out. I did not realize there was stitching all around the outside edges. So there's stitching on these, and I think that is absolutely adorable. Like when that came out, I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And look at this die cut. Now this is this one right here. So you could mix this one in too, and you would have these 3. And then there's another size as well. As we saw in the very beginning, there is another full big size, right? So you can have little Easter eggs in all colors. They are all awesome. Now this one does not have stitching on the outside, it's just stitched in the middle. And the largest egg also has the stitching. I just wanted to double check because I haven't run it through yet, but it does have the stitching in it, so that we'll have the same outside detail as the others. And oh my gosh, so cute. Now I'm going to just take my daubers and my ink and just run a little bit along the edges, not too far in, because I really want whatever I can see of these cute little bunnies to hang out with me. But it's just going to deepen down the edges just a little bit, and just kind of brighten that up a little bit. So that's the Flirty Flamingo. We'll close this one up and we'll bring in Lemon Lolly. This here dauber is going to do some quick work here for me. I'll get this deepened down a little bit. Now you could have, definitely I could have also used a darker color than Lemon Lolly on the Lemon Lolly cardstock, but I was trying to see how the tone on tone would look. So you really don't see too much of the details on there, but it is still a really pretty spring color. And I really wanted the really pretty spring color. That's where I was going with that. So let's bring in our card. This is a bonus piece. So this little white one was just for fun, for funsies. We're going to just go ahead and add some adhesive on the back of our sentiment piece and pop it on this matted layer right here, and then we're going to go ahead and finish up our card. So I'm putting these on here like this, kind of centering like that. So I'm just going to use some, this little Flirty Flamingo one looks a little bit darker than my original, so that's kind of nice. So I'm angling them a little bit, one on top of the other. Really easy, really fast card kits. Now if you don't have the dots folder and you have the eggs, you could emboss something that would look really cute here instead of using the dots die. You could use an embossing folder behind there, which would be sweet. And we're going to pop up the, oh my goodness, I almost put that on upside down. We're going to pop Happy Easter over here just like that. We're going to bring in a little bit of twine, make a quick bow. We're going to add some of the cute little bling. So remember, and I've used the twine and the dots on all of my cards. You could get away with one or the other for sure. So I've got that, and then for the dots, which come in so many sweet colors. So they've got Flirty Flamingo and Lemon Lolly right there. I need a glue dot for my little twine as well. So I want to know if you're loving that now that you've seen this excellent eggs in some, you know, a little bit of work in progress here. I'm going to put a glue dot there and just catch the bow, the knot part of my little bow, I should say. So that's going to go right there. Oh, looks so cute. I want to know if you love this one as much as you thought you might love this one. So I'm going to grab off some of these little cute, putting the Flirty down at the bottom, Lemon Lolly. Oh, I'm going to use a big one, I guess. Yes, because my package is going to allow me. So it's picking up the same colors here. It almost looks like we pulled some dots off of the cardstock and popped them on there. How sweet is that card? Now, for fun, I also did, I want to do this really quickly. I also did the eggs in white embossing powder. So this is the eggs done in white embossing powder. So I don't know if they show up a little bit better this way. The white embossing powder, the black and the clear are a 3-pack that Stampin' Up! Does not currently have in stock and will not be back in stock until the fall. So I didn't really want to show the white embossing powder in case you love it and you can't get it. But here's a little look at the little bunnies with, so pretend there's white embossing on there, right? So it would have changed this up a little bit, would have made this a little bit brighter as well. But that is a look at our very first card with excellent eggs. So I'm going to pop over real quick, look at some messages here. Melissa says the big egg die could be used to make a half an avocado. Use a circle in the middle for a pit. That is an awesome idea. That is so cool. Lori says she loves this one. Okay, so there's card number 1. Now, when we get all done with our cards tonight, I'm going to show you how you can mix in the Easter Bunny, the Filled with Fun, and the Lily. So there, if you don't like the eggs, but you still like the card kits, you could use all kinds of things on here. And here's just a quick for example. So I used the same paper, the Lemon Lolly and the Flirty, and I did a couple of the Easter bunnies, which we're going to be doing next. So if there was not eggs on this card, there could be bunnies on this card. So you could swap in bunnies instead of eggs, right? Or you could just put one bunny on if you wanted to just put one bunny on. So you're going to be able to mix and match all day long with these card kits, which is going to be so much fun. All right, we're going to jump into card number 2. Card number 2 is purple. So for all my purple fans out there, whoops, let me get card number 2. This one is for you. I know that there's some great purpley fans out there. We are going to be going into the Easter Bunny Punch with the Easter Bunny stamp set. Now this one is photopolymer. This is one that you may have. It's been around for a while. So there's actually 3 bunnies. The Punch image only works with this bunny. So these ones could go on circles. They could be fussy cut. There's a little bird in here. There are some small eggs and a butterfly, carrot, some flowers. This one has Happy Easter, an Easter treat for you. Enjoy all the little moments. You're a friend like no other, and it's a new day. So again, very springy, not just Easter, right? So bunnies are not just for Easter. New baby cards. I actually did a class with this bunny builder or this bunny punch and the stamp set last year at some point. So if you're looking for more ideas that I shared with the bunny, the Easter bunny, you can definitely check it out. So I'm just grabbing out the inks and things that I need, and here is our card. So let me just flip my camera back over so I can make sure I can see what you're seeing. There we go. Here's our purpley card. This might be a favorite, mostly because it's purple, right? And it's pretty simple as well. So I've got the Easter bunny here. I'm going to stamp him in the Fresh Freesia. I did use for this card an embossing folder, the Basics 3Ds, and I did use the Everyday Details dies. I used this one right here, the second biggest, kind of has 2 circle dots in it. So I am sending these with your card kit, but I just wanted to show you where those came from. So here's your card kit, and it's so funny for me because as I'm pulling these out, they feel so light with just one card kit set up in here. Normally I'm sending you 2 of everything, and this time it's just so different to just pull out, like, here's one card base and all of the pieces and parts that you're going to go with that. So this one's going to be super simple, which sometimes is even better, right? Especially if you're making a lot of duplicates. So if you're making quite a few Easter cards, you can definitely get away with replicating quickly. So I'm going to bring in my Fresh Freesia ink, my blending brush, and we're just going to deepen down the colors along the 4 outside edges. And I just grabbed a scrap paper here. I don't have my mat out today, my glass mat, my paper mat. I have 0 mats on my desk. Sometimes I don't want to have anything, so I just use some scrap paper and color away, right? So we're going to use this paper today. So I'm just only doing the outside edges, and this is such a light color, but it does make a little bit of a difference. You can see in the center here, hopefully that's catching the light where it's a little bit lighter. So while we have this out, we can stamp our little bunny, so cute, and our sentiment. So this is Fresh Freesia ink. I'm going to pop him over here kind of toward the side. So I'm going to use this side right here as a handle when it goes into my punch. So that's why I didn't center him on purpose, in case you were wondering. And then I'm going to bring in my Happy Easter sentiment and stamp that on my little scrap here. Let me move my stamps aside. I'm making a dirty stamp pile, and I will come back through later and clean all of that up. Okay, so here's our little bunny. We're going to use the punch and punch him out. So you just open it with this little handle at this little tab at the bottom. So as mentioned, I've got him off to this side so that I can use this as a handle and get him in here and line him up just right. This little bunny is so cute. He's from last year's spring catalog, and he was on back order for quite a while, which was highly disappointing. Now, if you want to have a bunny going in this direction and in this direction, now keep in mind you would have to do some reverse engineering stamping, which is possible, but you could have 2 little bunnies side by side, just like this. Now this one I was able to stamp on, so this is how it punches. But if you wanted to do another one and go opposite, you could have cute little kissing bunnies. I just think the bunnies are super sweet. All right, so back to our card kit. We're going to bump up our embossed layer with some dimensionals. And the reason that I always try to bump with dimensionals at least 1 layer on my card kits is that You can buy a flat card in the grocery store, at Hallmark, or wherever you buy your greeting cards, right? You can buy, you know, a card that is flat, it opens, pretty boring. Handmade cards are so much fancier. I like to be able to lift up at least one element and make it more 3D. And I just think it adds to the richness and the excitement, right, of the handmade card. So there is that layer bumped up. We're going to bring in our designer series paper, and of course, if you wanted to, you could totally mix it up. If you're going to use some different colors, maybe you have some punched out bunnies from card number 1, right? You can go Easter color crazy. You can add all kinds of colors in. You can change up, maybe you want to add in some blue twine. You can do all kinds of things, right? So this is our spring mixer cards, but I'm going to keep it purple because I feel like purple, all of these purples really go together so nicely. Let me see if my glue is going to cooperate. It is going to, I think it's stuck again. I cleaned it out earlier too. There we go. Now it's coming along. So there we have it, a little bit of determination. Now when you do your card, you can choose to have your little dots on the bottom of the ruffles going up or down. I like it this way. I feel like this is the answer. Now I'm keeping mine off to the side. Of course, you could center yours if you have to have things centered, and off to the side doesn't quite work for you. You're getting this die cut from the Everyday Details. Again, this is just kind of a landing space for a little bunny to go. So he's going to come on here. I'm going to put this over here. And let's pretend you wanted to use eggs on this card. We did eggs on the first card. Now these colors maybe don't necessarily go together, but the idea here is if you wanted to continue to use the eggs throughout your card kit, you could, and you'll need different size paper at home, but you could put eggs on this card, and then you've got 2 cards with eggs on them. So there's a couple of different ideas for the excellent eggs, right? So I'm showing you mix and matching, and I'm going to show you more mix and matching as we continue, but I can't show you all of it yet because I like it to be a little bit of a surprise here as I continue to make these cards with you. So here is a couple of dimensionals for our little bunny here. I have a loose paper here that was stuck on there. So a couple of dimensionals. Again, we're going to pop the bunny up a little bit higher. He's going to hang out here on this little circle. So again, focal point for him to hang out on. I'm also going to bring in, oh, I need to trim this. Let me trim my sentiment. I just like to flag the ends one way, and then I flip it and kind of do it that way. That's my favorite way to quickly jazz up a little sentiment. We're going to put this on with some dimensionals also. So 2 more on here. Beautiful. And again, not upside down. We're going to, and because this bunny is already lifted up a little bit, you can actually tuck this underneath, right? So you don't have to worry about putting your sentiment on first and then putting the bunny over top, as long as he's on dimensionals. If he was on flat, you would have to definitely, if you wanted to tuck this sentiment underneath a little bit, you would have to work with it before you put the bunny down. I like to do this just because it looks like the bunny has paws on, his little paws on this sentiment piece. I just think that makes it super cute. So there's our little bunny card. We're almost done with this guy, and then we're going to be moving on to the next card. So again, the twine, I chose the yellow. The twine comes in balmy blue, flirty flamingo, and lemon lolly. So there's no purple twine. Now if you have purple ribbon at home that you love, you could obviously substitute in some ribbon, but I thought that the iconic Easter colors really, right, are purple and yellow. Who agrees with that? Iconic. If you think of Easter colors, most people are like purple and yellow, very iconic colors. So I chose the yellow, and it adds a little bit of brightness, breaks up all of the purple. This is a very monochromatic color card here with all of the purple and white. So this little bit of yellow gives us a pop of color. So again, I'm just going to use a glue dot here. Very happy with that bow, but we're going to go with it. So there is my little dot there, and I think I need to bring in, I need to open this other package. I have several packages of these dots because sometimes you use all of one color and then you need to keep creating with different colors. So we're going to bring in our spatula here, and we're going to add a little bit of this lemon lolly bling. Maybe I'll grab my the putty end of my pick tool, and we'll come up this way here. So these are 2 different sizes. You can see the large and the small there, and there's our bunny card. And I've already showed you how you could mix the eggs into this one, which is really awesome. I have a cap here somewhere. There it is. Okay, there we go. So there's card number 2. Hopefully you guys are seeing this okay. I keep looking over and realizing that I'm maybe working up a little bit higher than I should be. I know that Amy loves the bunny. I remember, Amy, when we worked so hard to get you that little bunny. Oh my goodness. Okay, Kathy likes the spring colors. These are some really good cards. I totally agree. Okay, we are going to move on to card number 3. And remember, this is not the last card, because this is a bigger class tonight. We have 4 different card kits, 4 different featured bundles, and you can, of course, you can get all 4 bundles if you love, but if you just love one, you can mix and match in all of them and create. Now this one is going to be a little bit lengthier because we're going to be doing some coloring. This is our little coloring card. This is filled with fun. So this is the card that we're making next. This one is more spring than Easter, obviously. Oh, but I can't wait to show you. Remind me to show you the mix-up that I came up with. this idea that would make it most Eastery. But anyway, this is the card. We're using balmy blue here. We've got some browns into the wagon here as well. And I am looking to see, I do not have a balmy blue base, so it's probably when my power went out, so I was preparing. So I'm going to basically show you how I do my card bases. I put them in my paper trimmer at 4 1/4, which is down here at the bottom, and I score them, and then I have something really great here to work with when I am ready to close up my card. So I'll line up my edges a little bit, grab a bone folder just to make sure that comes across nicely, and get all that nicely done. Okay, so now we have our balmy blue card base. We have some Designer Series paper, and if you are really going springy, maybe you want this pattern up instead. I'm going to just kind of show you a quick idea whether you use this white one here or not. So here's kind of some bones to your card. Now let's do some mixing and matching, because we've been talking about mixing and matching, right? So again, these may be not the colors that are matching in, but here is your egg card, right? So you can mix your eggs into this card. Maybe you have the bunnies. Maybe you have all the bunnies and you want to just put some bunnies in this card, right? I would probably put this one like this. So you can make bunny cards with this card layout too. So my card kits tonight, this whole class, very universal on your spring and Easter cards. So that kind of shows you where we're going there. I think I have to stick with the blue because I really want this wagon to be the feature focal point in all of this beautiful rainbow paper. While I love it and it's soft and springy and gorgeous, I do have other needs today for my card base. So I'm going to just put this on here instead, and we're going to have that nice blue background. So then we're going to glue this on here. So for this one I think this is the stripes and splatters, but I can't remember. It is a 3x6 embossing folder, so it's one of the more narrow ones. This is what it looks like. It comes in a 2-pack. So this is kind of like a wavy pattern to it. That's the embossing folder that I used. We are going to be using a ton of ink for this one. We have a lot going on. So we've got, for the sentiment, Melon Mambo and Azure Afternoon. And then for the wagon, we've got Pecan Pie. We're going to do some ink blending for our sky and grass on this card. So we've got a lot of ink colors. And we also have blends. So there is some coloring here along with the Memento ink. So I've got the Highland Heather, light and dark, Melon Mambo, light and dark. I've got the dark Daffodil, and I've got the dark soft seafoam. So these are the colors that I chose. Of course, if you're coloring at home, you get to choose whatever colors you want, right? So let me get set up for this one real quickly. Again, because I'm using 4 different bundles, I have stuff everywhere. And we're going to get all of our blocks out here, and we're going to get all of our stamps out here. Now, there's a lot to this one because this is a lot of parts and pieces, but this is a look at the Filled with Fun stamp set. So we've got sentiments that say you make my heart bloom, celebrating someone special, sending loads of happiness, right? So wagon loads of happiness. Now you can see here, these are the flowers. We're using the flowers in this card, but you could put presents in here. This has presents in a cake. I should say cake. I cannot dismiss the cake, right? You got a little banner here if you're making kind of like a party theme. There's a balloon here, there's a heart, there's confetti. So it's really cute. You can do some really great things, not just with the stamp set, but also with the dies. Now these are the Filled with Fun dies. Again, you can get this as a bundle. And we're going to be using the outside of the wagon, the outline of the wagon, I should say. You can do the banner, there's a handle, there's 2 wheels, which makes it really nice. You can also die cut out the presents in the cake. You can die cut out the flowers if you wanted to, right? So you can add all these different elements in. You've got your balloon, your string, you've got inside wagon wheels, which we did not use, and you've got this really cute little piece here with wood grain that is going to give you a wood grain look on top of your wagon if you wanted to use that too. So we're not using every one of these dies today, but we are using several of them. So I wanted to show you the Filled with Fun, because I'm not just focusing on this a single bundle today. This is going to be more complex. So we're going to start out with Memento ink and the flowers. So I've got my flowers here. So what we're going to do first is just ink this up really, really well. I'm going to tip this over and go this way because I want to get really nice dark Memento ink. So we're starting with the flowers, which might seem like a weird thing to start with for this one, but trust me, this is all going to work out well. So this is actually going to come a little bit outside this paper, so I'm going to bring in my scrap and I'm going to stamp it right about the middle, which might seem also weird, but that's where it's going to go. It's going to come right here in the middle, and it's going to come off maybe a little bit one way or the other, and that's okay. So there we go. This is step 1, and you might be like, what is going on with this setup? So next we're going to do some coloring, right? So what's really fun with the blends, of course, is that you can color and you can make 2 colors. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with the yellow. You can blend your colors together. You can use, because they come in a light and a dark, you can use them on the same image and create light and dark in one area. And it's really awesome that way. But what else is really awesome is, I feel like this is the center of that one. What else is really awesome is you can also use them like I used on my card individually, completely individually, so that I really have 4 different color flowers here. I have a dark purple, a light purple, a dark melon mambo, and a light melon mambo. So hopefully you can see that I used 1 ink color on every flower. So rather than blending them to try to get varying highs and low colors in, all I did was take my markers. I mean, this is like kindergarten coloring 101, right? We're taking individual markers, we're creating individual colors, and I thought that was like the greatest thing in the world when I did that, because I was like, oh my gosh. Sometimes we don't stop to think how simple it can be. Now I do want to stop and say, how beautiful does this look in white with the white flowers? Because now they look like daisies, and I almost didn't want to color them because I really liked the fact that they kind of look like daisies when you leave them uncolored. So I might think about that. I really wanted to show you. I don't know, maybe not. Let's do the blending first though. So first we're going to create some grass. This is soft seafoam. I'm going to actually turn it this way. I'm going to come off of my paper and then onto my cardstock. So I'm kind of catching the rougher, darker edge on the bottom so I don't have a splotchy something in the center where you're going to see the actual, you know, we want the darker stuff off the edge, or on the edge, really. So you're going to see here that I'm just bringing this in here, and I've created kind of a grassy bottom here with soft seafoam. Really simple ink blending right there. Let me set that aside, and we're going to bring in Balmy Blue for the sky. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make the sky a little bit bluer, and that just kind of makes it look more natural, right? So again, we're going to just bring in our blending brush. I'm going to start off the paper at the top here and kind of come down. So I do have a darker outline on the edging, but I kind of like that better. I like it better on the edge. You know I sponge around the edges all the time, right? So this one's a little bit darker than my original card. Now I'm not coming all the way down onto the flowers, so you can see that my white flowers still look really white, and I think they look super beautiful like that. So I'm really tempted to leave them. I think I might leave them. So, but you get the idea. If I were to take an individual color of these highs and lows, these light and darks, I'm going to get 4 different colors of flowers. So I could go through and color all my flowers, but I really want to see what it's going to look like with white daisies, so we're going to do white daisies. That's just what we're going to do. Now for this one, I'm going to put this on here. Look at how cute the white daisies look already. Oh my goodness. So for this one, I am going to bring in some dimensionals, but I'm also going to bring in mini dimensionals. And there is a reason that I'm doing this. I want to catch my dimensionals above and below this embossed piece so that it's all kind of the same height. So I'm going to bring in minis because the minis are going to help me to, well, that's a paper, not a mini. The minis are going to keep it from showing from the top because this is not going to be, this white paper that we just stamped on. It is not a lot taller than the embossed piece. I think that might be enough. Maybe one more. Oh, I can hear the wind howling outside my window. And I keep thinking, I sure do hope. I hope that the electric restoration that just occurred at 8 o'clock tonight stands all the whole class here. I want to get through this class with you. All right, so you can see my minis are here. You can see that my paper is going to come across right here and it's going to catch. Now, if I put a big dimensional here, it might show top and bottom. So that's why I use the minis. So it's always nice to have these little minis. I don't use the minis as often as I use the big ones. Sometimes I get asked that, which size do you use? I'm like, I use all of them. I use the minis less often. And of course you can cut the big ones down to size, but you know, that takes time and we've got things to color and we've got things to glue and you know, one less step, right? So there it is. There's our step right there. Now we're going to talk about this little wagon. So we've got to create our little wagon here and we've got a sentiment. Oh, we have 2 pieces for a sentiment. So we have to do our wagon. Let's do the wagon first. I'm just using pecan pie on pecan pie cardstock to get that little brown wagon. Now, of course, red wagons are iconic, right? We've got all kinds of different colors for wagons, but I just wanted to share with you some thoughts. But I did pecan for the brown wagon. This will dry much lighter than what it stamps. So that is something to keep in mind. Let me set that one aside. We're going to bring in the next. We're going to just use mementos. I thought it would just be easier to continue to use memento. So for your wheels, you're going to ink up your little wheel, and you're going to do 2 on your espresso. So it's black on brown rather than black wheels. So that's something to think about too. If you're ever wondering different color ideas, the espresso is amazing. And then we're going to do our little our wagon handle there as well. So we've got that finished up, and by the magic of all of the things, right, because I didn't want to die cut everything with you tonight, here's our little wagon. So that die cuts out the wagon. You can see that it definitely dries lighter. So there's our wagon. The handle stamping, I wanted to point this out. If you're cutting paper, cut your paper wider, excuse me, because the die is longer than the stamped image. So this is the stamping, and this is the die piece. If I can pick it back up again. This is the die piece. So you can see that it comes out longer, and that's so that you have more to glue. When you put this together, you have a little bit more wiggle room here to glue stuff. And here's our little wheels. And there are 2 dies, which is really fantastic, because for the wheels, otherwise you'd be, you know, sending them through a couple of different times. Now let's talk about the sentiment really quickly, because this also is kind of magical. Let me remove that little backing there. So we're going to bring in our sentiment that says, "You make my heart bloom." So you can see I have a long sentiment here. We're going to stamp it in the azure afternoon first. So I'm going to ink this up, make sure I get ink on here. Hopefully I'm good. And this is just going to come on here like so. And it doesn't have to even be straight. I mean, if you want to just use it and call it good, you could definitely put that on your card. But we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to change this up a little bit. So I need to clean that up real quick, because we're also going to do the sentiment in pink. So if you're looking at my card, hopefully you know where I'm going with this already. Like, I am doing something a little jazzy here, right? So "You make my heart bloom," also in pink. I think I got ink on my finger. Pink ink. There we go. Now we have "You make my heart bloom" twice. Now, of course, you could put both. You could say it just, this is such a nice sentiment. Maybe you want to say it twice, right? But you don't have to. You don't have to say it twice. We're gonna get really tricky here with the snipping and the assembly. So what I want to do is I want to have you make. So I'm going to just take the you make right here and just use my paper snips. This doesn't have to be extra, you know, you don't have to like measure it. You don't have to cut it super fancy. So here's you make right there, you make. Now we want my heart. Now for my heart, I'm just going to, first I'm going to just kind of trim it down this way. And then I'm going to fussy cut because this is cursive and cute, I wanted to kind of make this more rounded. So I'm just going to come through here really quickly and turn my paper, use my nice snips. If you don't have nice snips, these paper snips from Stampin' Up! Are amazing. You definitely want a small pair of very sharp scissors. I'm kind of coming a little too close to the my, but there we go. You make my heart. And here we need bloom. So we're going to just cut bloom off. And I'm going to work with bloom here. Now you have enough pieces here that you could do the opposite. You could do it so that it's opposite colors. I wanted the my heart though to be in the melon mambo because I felt like, you know, the heart part should be like red like love. So then we've got all these little scrappies here that you can do whatever you want with. And let's talk about the assembly of the little wagon. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. Glass mat would work really well here too. And I'm going to glue, just put a little bit of glue here on this part of the handle, and then I'm just going to line this up wherever I think is going to look good, right? So I'm just kind of lining that up. Now because this is on my silicone mat, if it smudges off, which it did, it's super easy to pick up. If this was on paper, it wouldn't be quite so simple. So then I'm going to bring in my little wagon wheels here and kind of decide how I want my little wheels to be turned, because you can mix and match here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here at the top of this also. This might be a good spot for a glue dot if you wanted to. I do feel like sometimes the glue dots are a little bit bumpier, and I'm going to need to wiggle that over a little bit. The glue also gives you wiggling room, right? So you can kind of adjust if needed. Oh, that one didn't stick on there. We're going to turn him over in just a second and make sure it's good. So here's your little wagon. How cute is the little wagon? Right? So I have some glue on the back. Now earlier I did a wagon and I actually put a little bit of tape on the back just to kind of help secure it. You can see my crooked stamping on one of these when I die cut it, so I flipped it over and used the same piece of paper and got the stamping on there a little bit more nicely. So this is our cute little wagon, super fun. Now let's talk about using the wagon maybe on this card. Let me bring in the one that has the tape. So you could put the wagon on this card with some flowers. So maybe you don't have the bunny here, you just have the wagon. Maybe you have the bunny in a wagon. I think that's really cute too. I love the bunny in the wagon idea. Okay, so that's from card number 2. From card number 1, if you wanted to not use the eggs, you could get the wagon on this white matted piece here. You could put the wagon here with whatever you want in the wagon. So this could be a birthday card instead of the Easter card. So this is the mix and matching that I was talking about, all the fun mixing and matching that we could do. Now, while we have these little parts and pieces out, I have to show you my favorite mix and match. My favorite mix and match, which is probably going to be on a card, is going to be an Easter egg and the bunny in, I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's pretend this is a card matted layer. So the Easter egg and the bunny in the wagon at the same time. I just thought this was like the cutest little mock-up when I put these things together. How adorable is that? Easter egg, bunny, wagon, go. I just think that is so sweet. This is like my favorite idea of all of the mixing and matching, is putting these two in the wagon. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be making cards like that, so you're probably going to see more this week with that kind of an idea. So again, lots of good ideas for this one. We're going to bump up our little wagon with dimensionals over top of the flowers. Now, the dies do have a die cut for the flowers, but I kept the flowers flat on my paper rather than die cut them out. So let's pop the wagon. So this is where these are kind of floating until you put the wagon right up underneath of them. And of course we have a little green grass here. Now if you want to, you can take a glue dot or a little bit of glue. What I did was I just took a little bit of glue on the back of this handle, just a smidge, and kind of tucked it down so it wasn't popped up in the air. So you can do that. And then we have to put the little You Make My Heart bloom on here. So a little bit of glue again. My glue is kind of setting up in between cards here today, but we're gonna See if we can't get it to work here. You make my heart bloom. Now, again, if you wanted to keep the sentiment just one long sentiment, you could do that. But think about changing up the colors on your sentiment and then cutting out the words like this. It's a lot of fun. It adds a lot of fun to it for sure. You make my heart bloom. So there we go. And now we have the colorful flower version and we have the daisy colored flower version, right? So I've got the balmy blue twine here from this little 3-pack of twine, which is possibly one of your gifts or definitely one of your gifts, depending on how you're ordering with me this week. So we've got a little twine here, which I put on the top of where the wagon handle meets the wagon, and I use the little blue dots. Now the dots in the dot collection here are the Azure Afternoon colors, so they're the darker color blue, which is why I brought in a little bit of Azure Afternoon in the embossing piece, so that we could have not only the 2 tones of blue, but we could kind of get the continuity with our little rainbow dots here. And I just chose to use the smaller dots right here on the wagon. You could definitely add them up into the sky if you wanted to. You could put a couple up here, one down here. But I really like the idea of just breaking up the brown of the wagon at this point and just putting a couple of them here in a row, just for fun, right? So it kind of gives the wagon a little bit of movement too, because your eye kind of follows that line along, and it just kind of, in your mind, you're watching the wagon move along as well. So I thought that was kind of a cute way to do that. So there it is. I wanted to know if you like the flowers that are colored or the flower, like the daisy uncolored flowers, because you could definitely go either way with this card. And this card base, this whole kit right here, again, it could be eggs, it could be bunnies, it could be wagons, but we do have one more card. We have one more card, you guys. So hang with me here. We got one more card. I'm just going to make sure we're still doing good. Jess likes the daisies. Oh, Jody likes them too. That's so awesome. Sandra, isn't that egg and bunny and wagon, like, I thought that was the cutest thing in the whole world. When I put these, I was mixing and matching. This is my spring mixer, right? Mixing and matching. I thought, oh my gosh, that is so cute. The bunny in the wagon with the Easter egg. Like, iconic, right? We have all of the things. All right, so this is our last card kit today. You can see we have a bubble bath card base. And this is what's fun about this kit as well. So once again, I've got my card base right here. Once again, you can kind of switch your paper. If this is too busy for you, you could do the tone on tone with the bubble bath stripies. But let me bring in our last kit. This is going to be featuring I've got to find my card. This is going to be featuring the Easter lily. So this is my card, and you can see that I kept the flower up front, and this is mostly die cutting and then just kind of fixing up that pretty Easter lily to make it really pretty. I mixed in the garden green because there's green here in the card base. Betsy, you're on my car. You're on my cord, baby. Hold on. Okay, Betsy's snoring away on the floor, and she's like on my microphone cord, so I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. Okay, you can lay back down. There we go. She's going to get settled back in again. Oh, my goodness. All right, so for this card kit, you're getting the color and contour, scallop contour dies die cut piece, because I absolutely adore it. And then again, this is a lot of die cutting, but I wanted to show you, you're also getting 2 pieces of garden green cardstock. And I want to point out that one of them is 4 inches long and the other one is 4 1/4. So they are 2 different sizes on purpose. And before you put anything down, I want you to put down this garden green, especially if you're using the flower side. Now, if you're not using the flower side, maybe not the garden green, but this is going to come all the way across the width of your card base, right? So it's 4 1/4. So you got the 4 1/4 one there. Then you're going to put down the really pretty designer series paper, like really pretty. I love this designer series paper, and I'm gonna keep with the flowers because I really like the way that looks. So you've got the longer piece of green behind the designer series paper. Now you're going to take the shorter piece. So this is the 4-inch length, and you're going to line it up right here on either edge across the designer series paper. So it's the width of the designer series paper. And basically it's giving you almost like a ruffled look. So you've got the one below, then the paper, and then the green. So kind of, it adds a little bit of dimension here without adding in extra dimension. So that's a trick that you can do with some of your paper scraps, because you know we all have lots and lots of paper scraps, right? So let me bring in the last kit. I've got to find it here. Last bucket. Everything's been in buckets today. So I've been dragging out bucket after bucket here as we go. We're gonna need some daubers. I'm gonna do a little specialty inking here. So this is the Easter Lily stamp set. This one is religious, so it's got the trust in the Lord with all your heart, which is fantastic for sympathy cards as well. Peace I give unto you. God is good, he is risen. So these are beautiful sentiments. And maybe the lily images aren't your favorite images, but the dies are to die for. Like they're really fancy dies. Oh, here's the scallop contour dies that I'm using for this card kit. So I'm using the dies here that are going to do the flower building rather than the dies that are going to do the stamping and the cutout. So you can cut out the images here. You can cut out this palmy leafy frond, and you've got your lily flowers. But I feel like the power of this card, the most beautiful part of this card really is to create your own lily. Like just beautiful. And I've seen them done in different colors as well. So we're going to start with garden green ink, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. He is risen, which is somewhere lost in my craft room. Did I not pull out my he is risen? Where did I put it? Oh my goodness, you guys. I need somebody to come find this for me. So I have stuff everywhere, and I thought for sure that I left everything out and mounted. And yes, it is not in my stamp case. So somewhere I am missing a stamp set that's it. A stamp that says he is risen. Let me see. I found it. Somehow it ended up with the wagon. Okay, here it is. He is risen. We're going to do this in garden green. We're going to do it on the bottom corner of our die cut. And it's nice that these are photopolymers so you can see through. It's also nice that there's a dotted line right here. So it kind of gives you an area that you might be able to work with to get that lined up nicely, because sometimes it's hard to line things up. Now we're going to pop this on with dimensionals. So let's do that real quick. I have yep, there's a dimensional there that didn't have a backing on it. So it was a sticky one. Sticky situations at times. So I'm going to use 5 for this one. And we're going to grab these off the back. That one's already done. Sandra shared an awesome trick with me about coloring the back of or coloring these with a marker or something, and then when you pull the paper off, you'll know if you've already pulled the paper off. I thought that was a really great idea. I've never put it to practice though, because I'm always just flinging, from one thing into another. So we're going to center this. This is one that we're centering right here. Just like so. So we've got that centered on there, and how beautiful is that already? So now let's talk about this lily, this fantastically beautiful lily, and how this works. So you're getting some pieces here, and I'm going to show you how you're going to die cut these. So you're going to do the center in the lemon lolly. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe I should move over a little bit. You're going to have paper here to do. Well, maybe we're not. Well, okay, yeah, no, we've got enough paper here. No, we don't have enough paper here. I might need to fix my directions. We're going to fix the directions because really I want you to do 2 of these pieces. So technically these are supposed to both be leaves. And this one right here, for some reason, I thought we could get all of these on too. Let me do a quick check while you're here with me. Let's check this out, because somehow or another, yeah, this is the same size paper. Interesting. So I did this. Let's pretend I'm starting over. Maybe it's just slightly smaller. Oh, nope, we can do it. Okay, puzzle pieces. So we do have the right paper. So when I make this originally, I kind of use my paper, I measure it, and then write it down for my directions. So you are going to do 2 sets of leaves. So you've got 2 papers for leaves. You've got one that you will be able to fit these 3 pieces on. So we should be good there. Now, the question is, yes, I have 1 extra set of leaves. So we're going to die cut these really quickly because we're going to need these. So let's bring this in real quick. We're going to die cut this, and then I'm going to show you how it goes together. Now, I needed help putting this together because I didn't understand how the parts and pieces went. It's like a puzzle, right? And I had my lily, did not look like it should have. It was kind of wonky when I put mine together. So we're going to just bring these back in again, and we're going to see if I can get all these on here. Let's see, we got our center is lemon lolly, and then we've got 1 more piece of lily here. Okay, so this is the lilies. I know some of you were really excited to see the lilies, and some of you said not the lilies. So I'm really interested to see what you think of the lily dies versus, you know, thinking about just the lily stamps and then outlining it. So let me see what we got here for parts and pieces. We're gonna move this over. The doggy is curled up. She's like on my feet right now because she's a little chilly. She's laying on my feet, so it makes it really difficult for me to move. As I do this, I am standing, I am not sitting. I am not a sit and stamper or sit and crafter. For the most part, I am a standing stamper crafter. It's nice that my tabletop here, my counter that I'm working on, is actually countertop height. Like, so the countertop height that you'd have in your kitchen, maybe even be a little bit taller than that, actually, now that I think about it. It's fantastic. So I don't know if you sit or stand, but I am standing and my doggy is sitting on my feet. It's kind of funny. All right, we're going to take all of these dies. I'm going to move all of this aside so that I can show you what we're going to do with our leftover pieces. So let me see if I can slide those this way. We're going to do some major cleanup. You know what? This class has been a lot of fun to bring you 4 different ideas, 4 different bundles, but man, I am making a mess. I can tell you that for sure. All right, so 2 of these are obviously leaves down here at the bottom, if I can get them rated the right way. And then these 3 parts are going to make up your flower. I need the soft seafoam ink that I used in the last card, if I can find it, digging things out. So let's talk about how this works. So soft seafoam ink, so you can, of course, you can make these different colors if you wanted to. I'm going to use a dauber with my ink, and I'm going to start at whatever I'm going to call the bottom of the whatever I'm putting the ink on. So I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up. So the darker ink's always going to be at the bottom, which is fine because you can add more ink. It's hard to take it away, right? So just from the bottom up, and I'm just adding a little bit of ink here. Oh, I do have 2 more die cut out, but I don't think they're inked because I wanted to not have to do that twice. So there we go. You'll be die cutting these if you're using this. You'll be die cutting this twice. And then there's your, whoops, there's your green on there. And they do curl up a little bit, I have noticed. They have they take on a life of their own, which is really kind of cool. All right, so there is that one. Now we're going to bring in the bubble baths. This is a very light pink, as you know. And again, I'm going to start at the bottom middle here and kind of just work my way upwards, starting at the bottom and then working my way outwards. So the darkest part of this is always going to be the bottom where I started, and then I went up just slightly and out just slightly on both of those. Again, I'm going to start at the bottom and go up a little bit. Just give it that hint of pink. I don't want them to be all pink. I mean, you could definitely do all pink if you wanted to, but I want them to be white with pink. You know, just a hint of pink, right? Just that beautiful lily color. Now, I'm looking at my camera and I'm not sure how well this is all showing up. So hopefully, I mean, they're very light colors. So hopefully they're showing up okay. Let me bring my finished card back in kind of so you can see how we're going to glue this together. So this is the lily. You've got 3 pieces. So I want you to think 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 when you do this. So you're going to start with the one that has 3, and you're going to put this one behind. You're going to put number 2 behind. So 3 is going to be on top, 2 is going to be underneath. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive here on the bottom. So number 3 petal is going to sit on number 2 petal, just like this. Okay, so there's this way. Now we're going to pop the center in before we go to number 1. So 3, 2, 1, but you got to stop between layers here, and you got to add in this center piece right here. So that little center is going to go in there, and then number 1, the number 1 piece is going to come here. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue, and number 1 is going to come right here and kind of come downward. So here's our 3, 2, 1 flower. So that's how those petals go together nicely. And I looked in the catalog to see, because I was confused how to put these together, but that's how they put them together. Now for the frondies, we're going to use 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And you can put them on here before, or you can put them onto your card base as well. So let's bring in the card base, because this is all we have left. This is pretty simple too, right? Once you get all these going. So we're going to actually glue down the leaves. So I'm just going to dry fit them here quickly. So 2 going this way, 2 going this way. You can decide really how you want them to go. So they kind of are forming like a lazy X, if you will. And then I'm going to put my flower up here so you can kind of see how those are going to go. So I like that. That works for me. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here and here and get them tucked in. This is the florist part, right, where you're kind of like playing with the greens and all that good stuff. Now I'm being a little loose with my glue right here because I am going to bring the flower in over top, and the flower is going to hide any glue that's left over there too. So, and you have a little bit of wiggle room here. While these set up, might need a little bit more glue there. So we're going to put in a little bit more glue. And keep in mind, you don't want to cover your sentiment, right? We want to be able to see the sentiment. So for the back of the lily itself, I'm going to grab out a couple more dimensionals. And I lost my dimensional pack as well. Oh my goodness, I have so many things out now in my craft room. I'm just losing things left and right. So just maybe 3 of them on here on the back. Just like that. We've got eyes and a nose is what it looks like to me right now. Eyes and a nose on here. And that should cover us. And we're going to just bring our lily in kind of at a little bit of an angle, not over top of our sentiment. Once again, we want to keep our sentiment front and center. Now again, for this one, because the Flirty Flamingo does not match the bubble bath at all, I brought in the yellow twine because again, we have a little bit of yellow in the center of our lily, has that great little bit of yellow. So we're going to bring a little twine in here and we're going to put that in there. And then of course we do have on our dots, we do have these bubble bath ones too. So that's really exciting. So this is a little bit longer of a class tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. I wanted to show you 4 different cards. This is my Easter kind of spring fling mixer class, right? Where you can mix and match different bundles depending on what you have, what you love, what you want to make. We're going to add in the bubble bath dots. So this is one of your gifts this week. If you want to get an order in with me, you're going to get either or. This is going to be kind of like an Easter surprise. I think I'm going to come down this way on that one. Ooh, I like that one. That's good. I always try to make like a little bit of a triangle with my embellishments on here. So now, if you didn't want to do Easter lily, this could also be Easter eggs. I think I've lost some of my eggs, right? So you could do Easter eggs on this card. You could do Easter bunny on this card. You could also do the wagon on this card. Your wagon's going to fit on here. You could stamp your flowers on the scallop piece, right? So I wanted to show you that, in fact, you could mix and match any of these bundles onto any of the cards. So the wagon will work on all 4 cards. The bunny will work on all 4 cards. The lilies will work on all 4 cards. And the eggs will work on all 4 cards. So there's 4 cards, 4 bundles, lots of Easter ideas, pretty simple ones too. They're very duplicatable. So that is our amazing class for tonight. I hope you guys are loving this mix up of the classes, this Easter class. Let's see. Melissa says she saw cards made with the lilies. They are stunning. There's a lot of great samples out there. Oh, thanks, Margaret. She loves my kits. That's so sweet. Just checking to see. Michelle says the lily card is her favorite. It is so elegant and pretty. I adore it as well. But this is definitely a class that I wanted to share with you. Normally I'm talking about just one bundle, but there's so many options when it comes to the Easter bundles. And of course, you probably don't need every one of them. So I wanted to show you a class where you could mix and match. Maybe you have one bundle already. Maybe you want to add in one more bundle, and then you can make cards and kind of mix and match them as well. So thanks, Janice, for enjoying my spring fling class. This was a lot of fun for me. I am running this class through the end of day Saturday because again, I'm going to Houston on Thursday. I'll be there through Sunday. And so I'm giving this class is kind of loop into the weekend a little bit here in case you're interested in ordering with me this week to get my spring fling Easter class. So thanks for hanging out. I realize we're running late and it's also a really odd time for me to be on here because of the power outage today. That really kind of threw me for a loop. I will not be live on Thursday. I will not be doing my Thursday at 3 live, but I will have a video. So there will be a video, hopefully scheduling it out at Thursday at 3 will work. I will be landing in Houston and heading into the hotel and getting ready for convention. So I'll have a video for Thursday instead of a live. I will do a color swap on Wednesday. So one of these cards, you're going to see something different. maybe even more than one. I'm having so much fun with all of these products. And Amy says she loves the lilies. I know, he is risen. That is just such a beautiful card. I love everything about it. All right, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate your patience with me today while I worked through my power outage and trying to get this class off the ground. So if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. I'll check back and read them later. Enjoy the rest of the week. Get those Easter cards made. If you do still need Easter supplies, if you still need to order Easter bundles, I would say do it sooner rather than later so you can get those products in and start stamping with them so you can get your cards made in time for Easter. It is the end of the month. Easter is so early this year, so we need to get those done. So if you need these card kits, they will mail on Monday, so you'll have them hopefully mid to late next week if you're getting this class. Thanks again for sharing some time with me. I appreciate it so much. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love, everybody. Bye.